I'd spent 3 weeks planning the perfect anniversary surprise. 10 years of marriage deserved something special. I booked the Grandview Hotel downtown, the nicest place in the city, the kind of place we'd always talked about staying at, but never did because of the cost. I was finally doing it. Reservation for Friday night, champagne package, the works. I didn't tell her. I wanted to see her face light up when I revealed it. Friday afternoon, I picked her up from work early, told her to pack an overnight bag, that we were going somewhere special. She seemed surprised, maybe even a little nervous, but she packed and got in the car. I drove downtown, pulled up to the Grandview's valet, and watched her eyes widen. "We're staying here?" she asked quietly. I nodded, proud of myself. Happy anniversary. We walked into the lobby together, me carrying both bags, her walking slightly ahead. The concierge looked up from his desk as we approached, and his face immediately brightened with recognition. "Mrs. Harrison! Welcome back!" He glanced at me, then back at her. "Back again? And with a different companion this time, I see?" The world stopped. His smile was friendly, oblivious to the bomb he'd just dropped. My wife's face went completely white. I stood there holding our bags, trying to process what I'd just heard. Back again. Different companion. The concierge seemed to realize something was wrong from our silence. "I'm sorry, Is everything all right?" I found my voice, keeping it steady. "How many times has my wife been here?" He looked uncomfortable now, glancing between us. I... I'm not sure I should." I set the bags down. "How many times?" My tone made it clear this wasn't optional. He checked his computer, his expression growing more awkward with each click. "8 times in the past 6 months, sir." 8 times. 6 months. I turned to look at my wife. She was frozen, mouth slightly open, no words coming out. I picked up my bag, left hers on the floor. "Cancel the reservation," I told the concierge. "Charge me whatever cancellation fee there is. I don't care." He nodded quickly, grateful for something to do that didn't involve looking at either of us. I walked toward the exit. My wife grabbed my arm. "Please, let me explain. It's not what you think." I stopped, looked at her hand on my arm, then at her face. 8 times. He recognized you by name. He knew you well enough to comment on your companion. What exactly is there to explain? Her mouth opened and closed. No explanation came. Because there wasn't one that would make this okay. "Were they business trips?" I asked, already knowing the answer. She shook her head slightly. "Conference rooms you rented for work?" Another small headshake. "Just staying here for fun? Alone?" Her silence was the answer. "Who was it?" I asked quietly. She whispered something I couldn't hear. "What?" I said louder. People in the lobby were starting to notice. She glanced around, mortified. "Not here," she pleaded. I almost laughed. "Not here. You brought him here. 8 times. But now you're worried about appearances?" I pulled my arm from her grip. "I'm leaving. You can stay if you want. Apparently you're familiar with the rooms." I made it to my car before she caught up, breathless. "Please, get in the car. We need to talk somewhere private." I unlocked the doors. She got in. I drove in silence, her trying to speak, me holding up my hand to stop her. I wasn't ready to hear it yet. I needed to think. 8 times. While I was working late, while I was traveling for business, while I was planning anniversary surprises at hotels she'd already been to with someone else. I drove to my brother's house. Didn't call ahead, just showed up and asked if I could stay the night. He took one look at my face and said yes. My wife tried to follow me inside. My brother stepped between us. "Maybe give him some space," he said gently. She stood on the porch crying while I went inside. That night, she called 42 times, sent 67 text messages. I read none of them. The next morning, I called the hotel, asked to speak to the manager, explained the situation, asked if they could provide records of her stays. For legal purposes, I said. Divorce proceedings. The word felt strange in my mouth, but accurate. The manager was apologetic, professional. She sent me the records by Monday, 8 stays, all charged to a credit card I didn't recognize, all booked as double occupancy. Each stay coinciding with nights she'd told me she was visiting her sister, or out with friends, or at a work event. I had a calendar at home. I checked the dates against it. Every single one matched a night she'd been somewhere else. I forwarded the hotel records to a divorce attorney my brother recommended. She looked them over and let out a low whistle. This is about as clear-cut as it gets. 8 documented hotel visits in 6 months. We can definitely work with this. I signed her retainer. Agreement the same day. My wife showed up at my brother's house that evening. He didn't let her in. She shouted through the door. It meant nothing. He was just someone I met. It's over. Please come home. We can fix this. I walked to the door, spoke through it. 8 times isn't nothing. 8 times is a pattern. 8 times is a choice you made over and over. I ended it, she cried. Months ago. It's been over for months. I felt cold. Which stay was the last one? Let me check the records. I pulled up the email on my phone. The most recent stay was 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks. While I was planning our anniversary surprise. You're still lying, I said through the door. The records show you were there 3 weeks ago. Silence. Then sobbing. Then her sister's voice. She must have called for backup. Please just talk to her. She made a mistake. She loves you. I opened the door just enough to see them both. 8 times isn't a mistake. And booking the same hotel for our anniversary that she'd been using for her affair? That's not love. That's just convenient. Her sister looked shocked. My wife crumpled. I didn't realize you'd picked the Grandview. I didn't know. I would never have. I cut her off. You've been there 8 times and you didn't recognize the lobby? Didn't recognize the concierge who knew you by name? Or did you just assume I'd never find out? The divorce took 91 days. She contested it initially, claimed the hotel records didn't prove anything physical happened. My lawyer deposited the concierge. He testified that she'd been there multiple times with the same male companion, always requesting rooms on the upper floors, always staying overnight. The judge asked her directly if she denied having an affair. She couldn't, said it was over now, that it shouldn't matter. The judge disagreed, granted the divorce, awarded me a favorable settlement. As I left the courthouse, I saw her standing with her lawyer, looking lost. I felt nothing. No satisfaction, no anger, just the echo of the concierge's friendly voice. Back again? Different companion this time. Today, I'm remarried. My wife and I celebrated our first anniversary last month. I asked her where she wanted to go. She said anywhere we'd never been before, together. We went to a bed and breakfast 3 hours away, a place neither of us had ever seen. When we checked in, the owner greeted us warmly. First time here? She asked. My wife smiled, squeezed my hand. First time anywhere, she said, looking at me. And she meant it. I never went back to the Grandview, but I'm told they've retrained their concierge staff on discretion. Apparently, after what happened with us, management decided employees shouldn't comment on guests' companions. Too late for my marriage. But maybe it'll save someone else the specific agony of planning an anniversary surprise at the hotel your wife used for her affair 8 times, while the concierge cheerfully welcomes her back.